The 2021 Ferrari Omologata. The 2021 Ferrari Omologata is a one-off Grand Tourer based on the 812 Superfast. Commissioned by an European customer, the 2020 Omologata is the 10th front-engined, V12 one-off Ferrari built since the 2009 P540 Superfast Aperta. A tribute to Ferrari GT race cars from the 1950s and 1960s, as well as their homologation-spec, road-legal counterparts, the Omolagata was designed and built in a little more than 2 years. Find out what sets it apart from the 812 Superfast in the review below. What makes the 2020 Ferrari Omolagata special? The 812 Superfast roots are quite obvious here, but that's also because we know Ferrari offers just the one big Grand Tourer. If it weren't for the similar proportions, the Omolagata could stand on its own because Ferrari only kept the windscreen and the headlamps from the 812. Everything else was redesigned from a clean sheet. Unlike the 812, the Omolagata features a flattened oval grille with an additional splitter-like insert at the top. There's also a bigger splitter at the bottom and vertical intakes at the corners of the bumper. While the headlamps are indeed taken from the 812, the inner vents have been removed. Instead, the Omolagata features a pair of nostrils in front of the hood, clearly a tribute to Ferrari GT race cars from the 1960s. A contrasting stripe wrapping across the hood, toward the windscreen, also harkens back to Ferrari race cars from the past. The Omolagata's profile is actually a bit cleaner than the 812's. The swept-up character lines that connect the lower front fenders to the rear haunches, a defining feature for the Superfast, are gone. The Omolagata retains the carved profile, but the scoop connected to the front fender vent runs almost straight through the door. But this feature makes the rear haunch seem more muscular, so the Omolagata boasts a seemingly wider and aggressive stance toward the rear. The vents behind the quarter window are gone, so there's a smooth transition between the pillars and the rear deck. The Omolagata embraces its classic GT racing roots even more thanks to a louvered tailgate and a smaller, cleaner spoiler. Like most recent Ferraris, the Omolagata features single, round taillights on each side instead of the 812's twin lamp cluster. The areas surrounding them are deeply carved into the body, which makes the center fascia stand out. The diffuser and the black insert that holds the exhaust pipes is much bigger and extends higher into the fascia for a more aggressive look. The Omolagata should also benefit from extra downforce thanks to these changes, but Ferrari didn't elaborate on the matter. The Omolagata is finished in Rosso Magma. That's not a unique paint, but the darker shade of red used for the hood stripe and the roundels on the doors is. Ferrari claims it created it specifically for this livery. Not surprisingly, the interior of the Omolagata is identical to the 812 Superfast. But Ferrari added just enough unique features to make it stand out from the pack. The first detail that catches the eye is the bright blue leather on the seats. This color was common in some Ferrari Grand Tours from the 1960s, including the iconic 250 GTO. The seats also feature jeans-on fabric, a material you won't find in many cars nowadays. The Omolagata also features 4-point racing harnesses. The metal parts on the dashboard and steering wheel are finished with a crackled paint effect associated with GT race cars of the 1950s and 1960s. The door handles and the center console feature a hammered paint effect that pays tribute to the no-nonsense interiors of the 250LM and 250 GTO race cars. The Omolagata is a standard 812 Superfast under the hood. It's powered by the same 6.5-liter V12 engine that Ferrari introduced in 2017 and output remains unchanged at 789 horsepower and 530 pound-feet of torque. This V12 was Ferrari's most powerful naturally aspirated engine until 2018, when Maranello launched the Monza SP1 and SP2. Also based on the 812 Superfast, the SP models feature a slightly more powerful 6.5-liter V12 that cranks out 799 horsepower. That's an extra 10 horses. Just like the 812 Superfast, the Omolagata features a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Developed and manufactured by Getrag, It is based on the gearbox used in the 458 and enables the Omolagata to hit 62 miles per hour from a standing start in an impressive 2.9 seconds. The Omolagata can also hit a top speed of 211 miles per hour. The Omolagata also retains all powertrain tech that Ferrari offers in the 812 Superfast, including the electronic power steering and the rear-wheel steering system. Called Virtual Short Wheelbase 2.0, the rear-wheel steering system is borrowed from the limited edition F12 TDF model. Based on the 812 Superfast's predecessor, the F12 Berlinetta, the F12 TDF is, much like the Omolagata, inspired by Ferrari GT race cars from the past. Ferrari didn't reveal how much the Omolagata cost its lucky owner, but it's safe to say that it was notably more expensive than the 812 Superfast, priced from around $340,000. Given that it's a one-off that needed more than 2 years of work, the Omolagata could be the most expensive Ferrari based on the 812 yet. With the Monza SP models priced from €1.6 million, about $1.95 million as of January 2021, the Omolagata owner might have paid well in excess of $2 million to take his unique Grand Tourer home. The Ferrari Omolagata is just perfect if you're a fan of Modena's 1960s GT race cars, but it has one flaw: the Italians built just one. While there's no chance for Ferrari to replicate the Omolagata, maybe the 812 Superfast will eventually spawn a limited edition GTO version.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.